Today is the 1st of April. It's probably one of the most fun day in the calendar. It's the All Fools Day when pranksters can have their heyday. And if you have a funny bone in you, you ought to play a prank on somebody you know, or probably somebody you don't know, but be very careful that they don't come back and bite you on your back. I'm going to narrate to you 3 very interesting pranks that were played mainly in Europe, because Europe is where this All Fools Day thing started. Probably the earliest recorded prank was in 1698. On the 1st of April 1698, the Docks newsletter, which was a very popular newsletter in London at that time, they published a story stating that there were several lions being bred in the Tower of London and they were going to be given a public bath in the moat, and people were invited to watch it. Thousands turned up only to return disappointed because there were no lions that were kept in the Tower of London. The fact that there is no dearth of fools, you can understand, because the same prank was played again and again by different newsletters in London. Different newspapers came up till the last century. They kept coming up. They even issued tickets. People paid money and bought tickets to go and watch lions getting bathed in the moat when there were no lions that were actually bred in the Tower of London. The second prank happened in 1950. There are several pranks. I'm talking only about 3 pranks here. The second one that I'm talking about was in Norway. In 1950, 1st of April, 31st of March 1950, Aftenposten, which is the largest newspaper of Norway, they published a story stating that the government monopoly, liquor distribution monopoly, like our Tasmac, they had a liquor distribution monopoly, the government, they had received excess stock of wine, and because they did not have enough bottles to bottle them, they were going to give it away on the 1st of April at 75% discount, tax free, to whoever turned up. So the newspaper suggested to the public to go and pick up this wine, but they also said because there were no bottles, they should carry their own containers, and they suggested that they should take buckets or barrels if they had them, or pitchers, and go and collect this wine. And next day at Vin Monoplet, which is the name of their monopoly, Vin Monoplet, 10 a.m. is the time that they open, but right from 6 a.m. queues had started forming, waiting for that 75% discounted wine. At 10 a.m. when the Vin Monoplets opened, these people realized that they had been taken for a ride, and the disappointed imbibers returned home. And the next day's Aftenposten reported that there were thousands of buckets and pitchers strewn on the road, and the corporation had a tough time getting rid of them. And finally, we come to the most interesting story, again in London. You know, there's this arterial highway in London, and in the middle of the night, several cars pulled up to the side because they could see a huge flying saucer landing at a field nearby. So several cars, thousands of cars pulled up on that highway. It was an arterial highway. Cops were called, and there was this bold cop who approached the flying saucer, and suddenly the flying saucer's doors opened, and out stepped this guy, silver, completely dressed up in silver. Out stepped this figure, and this cop, not surprisingly, turned around and scooted. The author of this prank was Richard Branson, the founder of Virgin Airlines. He is known for his pranks. He is known as a prankster. He is also known for his hot air ballooning, and he had designed a hot air balloon to resemble a flying saucer, and he was supposed to land in Hyde Park on early morning hours of 1st of April. Unfortunately, the weather put paid to that plan, and he landed on a highway. Of course, he had to pay for that. Anyway, These are the 3 interesting pranks, and if you have a funny bone, if you want to play a prank, today is the day to play a prank. Play a prank on someone who will not mind it. Have fun. Bye bye.